use it.
No, no.
Welcome everybody to Heroes Unleashed. I don't know why I'm doing that. That's just.
Yeah, he's already drunk with power.
It's because he grew a goatee.
Sometimes you gotta be drunk without.
Wait, first of all, what are you talking about? I'm always drunk with power. Power!
Yeah, no.
All right, so we have, oh my God. We have myself. We have Patch, Id, Morgan, Orion. Seraph is not joining us today, so in his stead, we have someone even more hideous. Look at him. He's hideous. He's gross. I'm getting eye cancer just looking at him. It's gross.
My eyes are falling out.
I apologize to the cancer community. I know that was uncalled for, but seriously, just look at
Very
him.
insensitive, yes.
But just look at him. So why don't you introduce yourself, sir? Your character name and motivations and all that good stuff. By the way, we still haven't settled on his character because I asked him for a brief synopsis and he sent me an encyclopedia of shit that I got to read through, and I don't have that kind of attention span anymore. So we're gonna play it by ear today, and then see if I don't veto it later, because that's a definite that's a definite possibility. So please, go on. Oh, by the way, that's Adolfo. He's in Seraph's spot, which I will be changing the name for today, and then adding some more shit later. It's a pain in the ass. We all know how this goes. So what is your character's name? Is he Paco Rabanne? What is I couldn't get the whole thing.
Humperdinck. Humperdinck, Humperdinck, Humperdinck.
Wait, you don't know your own character's name? Because I literally just asked you.
His name is Adolfo. Taking the suggestion from you, from all the freaking damn, what the hell is that game called again? I forget.
You talking about Galford?
Yeah.
You, you named your hero name is Galford?
No, my hero name is Paco.
Oh, that's even better.
My actual name is Galford.
You got a big P on your chest?
No.
Oh, it's better than Relentless. Okay.
He is ancient weapons master. Specializes in the Sage Blade.
Mm-hmm.
Only. And he has been trained to hunt demons.
Demons. Sorry.
That's just keeping it very simple. Unless you want me to throw in there.
No. Please stop it. Stop right there.
We're already an hour late.
We're good.
Because I can't continue, you know.
No, I know that you can't. No, but okay. So, give a brief synopsis while I fix this of your character overall and how is he good, evil? What's his relationship to the world? You already know the world that I've built. You've played in this game before. You've played with me before. That sounded weird, but you played in my system before. And in relation to the current geopolitical environment that everyone exists in, the major major sanctioned super organization would be the Global Superhuman Task Force, which is a misnomer, as it is just for the continental United States, and only has 3 functioning offices, well, 2, and LA's being built right now. And that would mean that if you're going to work for the government agency that we discussed, it would be the GSTF. I'm not going to utilize anybody else's ideas, but that would be where if you're going to work within that structure, that framework, then that's where your character would be. Otherwise, you could just be a vigilante like practically everybody else.
Well, coming from Spain and being trained by my organization, think of me of like one of the Winchesters. You know, I'm just deeply versed in what it is, what goes bump in the night.
Make him the Mexican cleaner at Steve's company. There we go. He's together.
So we go.
Ooh, let's not do that.
As far as the political climate, my family deals with the politics, but personally don't. Being that I'm more on the field than anything else.
Okay.
And at the moment, I have actually been assigned to the United States in order to investigate this great evil that's coming.
All right.
Yeah,
The scribes, the scholars, they're all pointing to signs of the apocalypse and shit like that. So,
Yeah, because apparently that's a problem for you people. Oh, another world, another ending of the world. Can't we just beat up muggers?
I guess it must be Tuesday again.
so I'm off with my pet.
Oh, yeah. 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 All right. I will be killing that wolf as soon as I possibly can.
Sure.
You got a Chihuahua?
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
another one.
I
with
gotta kill a Chihuahua.
He's another one with chihuahuas.
No.
Big Mike's waiting on you,
Yeah,
dude.
Mike's saying he's waiting on you.
Holy shitballs. Christ on a cracker. Fuck me sideways. All that other good shit. All right, so we're going to take a quick break while we add one more player. Yeah. Okay.
No, my attention is definitely elsewhere.
Hey! Here we are. Heroes Unleashed. So unleashed that we had to take a break. That's how intense and unleashed these heroes are. We have Orion, Morgan, Id, Seraph, Patch, Baco, and myself. It's like, hi, my name is Dave. I'm a superhero. It's like, what's your powers? I don't have any powers. I just saw the ad. Thought it'd be fun. Like, you're in.
Saw a comic, web comic, where some guy was doing that, and he started praying, and just like randomly, accidentally, shit was going the right way, and they were like, "Oh, you have the power of prayer." It was a complete bullshitter.
That's like most comics, and I'm speaking from experience. All right, now we've already gone over Paco Rabanne Jr. and his abbreviated history. I still have to review it because this motherfucker is out of control. And we have two teams and Id. Id is always separate because he's afraid. Actually, Id, there was a situation that I'm gonna have to throw you in because you hadn't joined us the last game, so I utilized you as cannon fodder. I hope you don't mind. I hope you don't mind. You were a plot filler on that one. So I'm going to start with I'm going to let everybody know where we were last. So Morgan and Orion had met at the hospital where Id was, and they discovered that Id was no longer there. He was checked out, and by checked out, they went to the security desk and reviewed the surveillance footage and saw Morgan, or what appeared to be Morgan, escorting Id out of the hospital. And this is Morgan and Orion watching Morgan escort Id out of the hospital. So Morgan has this big giant question mark over his head. And so they're on their way back to the GFCF headquarters to meet with A.D. Schultz for a debrief because Orion is not well liked, can't really communicate, and his boss doesn't like him.
And he's bald.
So I think that covers it. And he's blue.
Yeah,
So he's-
I'm blue, Dabity.
So he's he is
But my boss does like me better than the other guys.
Bless you.
Thank you.
So at least I got that going for me.
yeah, no. And let's see. Then we had Seraph and Patch. Seraph was on his way to the school because they had discovered that the last of the material that he himself had created when he melted down a server after merging with it was being placed into was being carted off. Unaware, at least in the when we last left it, he was unaware that it was already being placed in a van and being driven off. To that effect, Patch had patched himself into the van's GPS in order to track it. So that if I'm missing anything, please let me know.
I think that's what happened, yeah.
That pretty much sums it up. And then we will bring in Paco. Oh, I'm sorry, Paco Galford in a few seconds. And we're gonna start with Id. So Id, a little time rewind. Are you? Can you hear me? And everything's good. You're good.
I hear you.
Okay.
You're coming in loud and clear.
All right. Wonderful. When you're recuperating, you had a couple of visitors. Some of your guys had come in and out, and you were trying to recover. I'm pretty sure I got all my notes now in order. Order! The first order! I like yelling order.
Do it.
Do it. Chief Chief Jameson. Quincy Jameson, he had visited you in the hospital. You gave him a brief a synopsis of what had happened and how you end up there, and you were going through you explained the scenario as it occurred at the Chipotle, where you got slashed across the chest like a little bitch, and which I think covers that. Yeah, I think that covers it.
That pretty much
That
covers
pretty much
it.
covers that. And he was he's concerned because a lot of stuff's going down at City Hall, and there's some governments that are sniffing around. He's been trying to figure out who they are, but they are their dossiers are coming up classified, and he's running into some problems in figuring out who these two people are. There's two gentlemen. One that works for the NSA, and then what he believes to be a CIA operative, who's flashing an FBI badge, but doesn't act like a bureau agent. So he's a little wary of that. He wants you to be on your P's and Q's, and make sure that if these two governments come, you immediately alert him. Because you and him have a direct line, so he wants you to alert him immediately when if and when they come by, because he feels that they're going to come by to see you behind what's going on. That night, it was that day. That day, Morgan had come by, and he let you know that there was a break in his investigation into his family. And unfortunately, he would need you to AMA and to come with him because it's a matter of life and death. Now, as this is a plot point that you weren't here for, you did AMA. Say what? Oh, I don't know what happened there. Oh, I know what happened there. There we go. That's my bad. Sorry about that. And you guys can see each other, right? Everybody's good.
I just see you.
Oh, what the shit balls.
That's gross. And the fact that somebody took shit and made him with the balls.
There we go. This it never ends. It never ends. All right. Anyway. Now, it's all good. We're all good there. Technical difficulties again.
It happened.
Never ends.
Yeah, I'm
Bloody
assuming
hell.
since I'm coming out of the hospital, I'm healed up a bit.
Yeah, you had healed up psychically anyway, if I'm not mistaken. So
Yes.
it was just a matter of recovering your ISP, which you were able to do, and Morgan had a vehicle. He had a sedan. It's not the one that he was driving around with, but god damn it! All right, I'll just leave it the way it is. And he had led you. He drove you off. He was acting a little peculiar, and any attempts to do telepathy to just get some surface thoughts to see if not because you were suspicious, but because he was acting a little peculiar, and it read as nothing. You didn't get any sense of what was going on in his head, so that was a little disconcerting. He drives you about 10 miles to this building. It's in a strip mall outside of LA, and for the most part, most of the offices, most of the stores are boarded up, but there are the one that he's leading you to is a family-owned sporting goods store, which again is all weird and everything. And when you get there, there are at least a half dozen men in MIB outfits, and that's where he leads you to. When you walk in, he gestures for you to walk in first, and when you walk in and turn around to see because you were weird, it was weird that Morgan would lead you here. It's not Morgan anymore. It's another gentleman in an MIB outfit. And by MIB, I mean the glasses, the earpiece, all of that stuff. All right. So that's where you are right now, and there is 5 of those very burly agents and an older gentleman that's sitting, and he looks to be eating like he's cracking open some peanuts, and he's like, you're here. Good. Please,
That's it.
detective, have a seat.
Sure. Mind telling me what this is about?
Oh,
I stand on
I
guard.
don't. He's like, I don't mind at all. But please, sit. Peanut. And he holds the bowl over to.
I think about it for a second. I am kind of hungry. Yeah, I'll take a few peanuts.
It's like, well, I would imagine that you are a little concerned with this scenario. It looks rather ominous, but I assure you, you are in no danger. I think, however,
I would hope so.
He's like, however, you will at some point get shot in this module.
Or Claude.
It's like you
It
may
would-
get clawed,
It
shot,
would be a normal game if it wasn't.
or stung by an abnormally large bee. Now,
It wishes he was bulletproof at this point.
he says, first introductions. I know who you are, obviously. I've seen your file. It's very impressive. You have an impressive, your ascension in the ranks of the LAPD has been meteoric. I can't imagine why that would be. But it's your proximity to the powers that be within your precinct that is what's concerning. And given your unique talents, I think that it would be mutually beneficial that we met in person before we move forward. It's like first things first. He's like, my name is Sam King, and he extends his hand to shake it.
I shake his hand and I also say out loud, how the hell does everybody keep finding out who the hell I am?
He's like, well, it's like, I hate to tell you this. I hate to tell you this, detective, but your chief does keep very copious notes, and his password is abysmally easy to crack. So,
Never had this kind of problem in comic books.
I would imagine that would be the case. So, I'm sorry. Do you want to get shot today? No.
Rather not. I'm not shot, not blown up, not frozen over, not slashed in the gut. None of that.
So he
Not
says,
burned.
I work for he's like, I work for the Global Superhuman Task Force as a liaison. He's like, he's like, my background is CIA, and I'm currently an attaché for the NSA. A lot of acronyms, I know. It's kind of annoying, but that's where we are right now. And the reason why we have you here is because of your proximity to your chief, who we believe to be compromised. So one of his guys hands him a folder, and he flashes you a picture. The picture is of a young man in his 20s, blonde. You've never seen him before, but the picture next to him is Morgan. So he says, "Do you recognize one of these two men? Do you recognize either of these two men?"
I may. Why do you ask?
This is because one of them is currently one of them you're currently helping to solve the murder of the other. The other would be his brother. Yes, unfortunately, his brother has been missing for quite some time now. He's believed to be dead, but we believe otherwise. We think that he is part of a shadow organization that was the primary cause of the. He points it to this guy. He's like that event. We're officially terming it the event.
That headache.
Yeah, he's like, yes, that headache. And he said, unfortunately, we don't know who to trust, and because you are a psychic, we believe that your unique abilities and your proximity to your chief is going to be most beneficial for us. It's like, unfortunately, this is not necessarily an ask, detective, because this is highly classified and a matter of national security. So I've been following your career path and your choice of associates. It's like, you don't necessarily have the best judgment, but you are someone. You are a straight shooter when it comes to your job, and that's something that we need right now. It's like this Morgan fellow. So we don't have a real good beat on him, but he is highly intelligent, highly capable, and a foreign national, which is also concerning. So we don't necessarily know if he is in fact working for the other side.
I tend to think of Morgan as more of a a lovable fool, but I feel like his heart's in the right place.
Or maybe that's what he wants you to think.
Oh.
I don't know yet, and that's kind of where you come in.
So you
Now-
want me to keep an eye on Morgan?
Actually, I want you to keep an eye on your chief, but if you come in contact with Morgan, it's best that you try not to involve yourself in whatever PI work he's trying to accomplish. So what he's doing is stirring up a hornet's nest right now. So we have that organization that's under surveillance. We have several operatives that we are currently surveilling. You've met a couple. We believe that they are currently working out of the through Aegis, but we have no solid evidence at this point.
I'll do my best. I'll do what I can.
Like, wonderful. Here's my card, and he gives it. It just says Sam King in bold, and on the back it has his number. He's please do keep in touch, and if you should ever want to move out of LA or move out of the LAPD and do some real work for your country, just let me know. I'll see, and I'm sure I can make something happen for you.
I'm always glad to come up, but we'll see how this goes first.
He says, Agent Taylor will take you back.
Much appreciated.
All right. When you turn back, he's transformed into a Middle Eastern cabbie, and he leads you to a mini that has the the lift sticker that's in neon. He's like, please come with me. I know I'm being racist with the accents, but it's a role-playing game, so deal with it. All right.
I look at him with my eyebrow raised, like, really? You could have just been a normal guy and just been the captain.
So
All right.
He's just like, this is not normal. It's LA. Come.
You ain't Mexican.
Okay. So where to? Where are you heading back now? You did notice that there were a couple of texts from the chief that came across. He's wondering why you checked yourself out. Is there an issue? Call me. Basically, what he's trying to lead you to.
I'm a text him back. I just need to get some fresh air. I don't like hospitals. And plus, something about a hole in my stomach made me hungry.
So he says, "Well, if you're ready to get back to work, just we'll see you tomorrow. Otherwise,
All right.
you have comp time. You have PTO. So take it, and then come back to work."
I'll do just that. And I'll talk to the agent in the front, like, take me home. I'm pretty sure you know where that is.
Will do.
Look, you have to buy the comic.
Oh God, I had. All right, let's not go there. Okay. So, Orion and Morgan, you get back to the makeshift GSTF headquarters, and a lot of the office is a buzz with people working and setting up, internet and office spaces and cubicles and all that shit. But you can clearly see.
But you can clearly see.
All right, what is that?
Clearly see.
Sound like a lag.
Yeah, somebody got an open channel. But
Oh,
anyway,
let me put
all right. So you can see the assistant director. He's in his office. He's looking over some papers. He doesn't necessarily see you yet. So assuming you go to him, knock on the door. He looks up and waves you in. It's just.
Okay, before I actually knock on the door, I would actually send a message to Morgan to tell him since I don't have any vocal
Chords.
aptitude, somebody else is going to have to sit in on the questioning. Uh, and then I'll proceed.
Okay. So he's like Agent Orion. I assume this is Morgan,
I'll nod.
Mr. Morgan. I'm sorry. What was your last name? It's
It was
it takes out a.
Cornwallis.
I'm sorry.
Cornwallis.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Okay. Do
Have to
you
go back to my
are you
sheet.
currently in possession of a visa?
I have a passport.
You're not a United States citizen, are you?
Not at the moment. I'm working towards it.
Okay, so then you have a work visa to be in this country, or
Yes. I do international private eye work.
right?
And
And
I handle my license as well.
he's looking. He looks at both of them over. He's like, "And you're here on what business, sir?"
I'm investigating some matters that I was hired for about a family that has disappeared, and it's led me here.
And who is your employer, if you don't mind my asking?
I'm not at liberty to divulge that.
Liar! No. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to yell, but I did. It's like, okay, sir. I need you to recount for me the instance that took place at that fast food joint. It's like I would ask Orion, but no.
I think there was something in the food. I was a little delusional because I saw things that I shouldn't have. I'm thinking that it could have been a metahuman, several metahumans, because of the way the individual behind the counter changed and clawed the officer that I was speaking with,
Mm-hmm.
and she yelled out something about "we have no more guac."
I'm sorry.
She yelled out that it seemed like she was upset that they had no more guacamole. When she called my friend when we were getting food.
So she almost killed an LAPD detective over guacamole. Is that what you're saying to me, sir?
No, I am letting you know what happened, what transpired. Anything beyond that, she took the woman that was working with her, put her face, I think, on the fryer, and yeah, and she decided to rip her own head open.
Yeah,
I think it was on camera. It should be on camera.
We reviewed the surveillance footage, but those things can be altered. I'm just trying to get a first-hand account. And what is your relationship with Detective Johnson?
I was asking for some assistance since I'm new in the country and I was lost. And since then, he's been my go-to individual for assistance or help because I'm still learning. I've only been here for a couple of months.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm still learning LA.
Okay.
And how he tells me like which areas not to go to because it's dangerous for a foreigner like myself with my accent and I possibly get robbed or shot. Since I have a firm belief that I don't use firearms, but it seems like in this country I need to get one.
Second Amendment is very sacrosanct to Americans. I would imagine someone from the UK wouldn't necessarily believe that.
No, our police really does. We don't use that. We use billy clubs.
Right.
It's safer. And if someone threw a billy club at you, you wouldn't easily move out the way. So you would have to worry about a stray bullet, stray clubs.
So how did you get in touch with Detective Johnson?
Well, I saw him on the street. I think he was getting a tuna sandwich or something like that.
Wait,
And
so you didn't meet him at, and he gives you the name of the firehouse. Is that's not where you first encountered him?
He was eating a tuna sandwich.
While he was staking out a firehouse, where those Asian.
Oh no.
Gentlemen.
I knew him previous to that.
Ah.
But the Asians, yeah. I was lost and I called him and I said I saw something inconspicuous in the area. And he came to assist me and investigated himself. And that's how everything happened.
You were lost.
Actually, yes. I was trying to find an address.
So
and
he's
GPS
he's looking
since-
through some papers, and he obviously has a file folder open. The reason why I'm looking down is because I'm looking through papers as
Your
I'm
notes,
role playing. No, I'm not looking through my notes. I'm role playing. So am I to believe that someone with an IQ of 180 was lost in the city of Los Angeles with a functioning cell phone and GPS? Is that what
my
you're, is
GPS
that what
works
you're telling
on
me, sir?
oxygen, so it's an issue with it in other countries. The OS on my phone is not adept to working in America.
Mm-hmm.
I have to transfer. I have to go to my cell phone company and transfer it soon because I didn't expect to be here this long.
You said you had an international private investigator license, yes?
Yes,
So
sir.
which means that you have operated on U.S. soil before.
No,
This is your first time in the United States.
this is my first time here. You know, there are other countries in the world,
Mm-hmm.
and I am fairly young.
Okay. How did someone so young become an international private investigator?
Well, my family had asked me to do something with my life, and they assisted me in my training
Oh,
and help me get my certifications.
so now that you mention it, your family.
No. Sorry, I had a flashback. Oh,
You're an ass. You think your family was declared missing several months ago, yes?
yes.
Mm-hmm. And your employer, sir, I'm trying to piece this together here because you seem to be involved in quite a few open cases, and your family disappearing, and you're not investigating that at all as someone with an international private investigator's license. You're telling me that you're not looking into that, and you're actually working for someone else. Is that your story, sir?
My family already got in contact with me, so they're not missing.
Oh, they did. And
They said
when
they
was
actually
this?
sent me a message not to look for them. They're fine.
And when was this?
The day at Chipotle with the detective. Actually, he was the one that gave me the message.
And how did he get that?
Oh, I didn't ask.
You're a private investigator, and you didn't bother to ask questions
Because there's certain,
about your family that was missing up until that point.
because my family is that way. They're mysterious. And if I get a message from someone, it's going to be legit. I have no reason to question.
It's very you're very trusting.
Well, I am fairly young, so.
You said that. See, I'm having a little difficulty piecing this together, and because Blue Boy has no vocal cords, he can't actually communicate.
I
really don't want him in my fucking head. So, I think.
Well, if you'd like, you can use him as a mediator.
No.
So that way, in case you think I'm lying about
That's
it,
completely
he can read my mind.
okay. I'm all right. I'm okay with that.
Okay. I'm willing to go through an inspection of my mind. You know, if you wish, I have no issue with
I
that.
don't believe
Since
that
we
his
all-
abilities
We all
extend.
know lie detectors do not work, and I don't know why even law enforcement in America use it. Because even the creator said it doesn't work.
It's a little off topic, but sure. I agree with you in that respect. And no, Officer Smurf here, he doesn't have that ability.
Oh,
To my mind. And How long do
I
you
was
plan
shocked.
on? He's like, how long do you plan on staying? Are you?
Hopefully, it shouldn't be any more than maybe another month.
And
If not,
at
I'm
what
going to put in
stage
my
in your?
paperwork to become a citizen.
At what stage in your investigation do you believe yourself to be?
I believe since I'm almost midway, I would say.
Hmm.
It's just, you know how some investigation are, you know, not enough clues, you run into dead, you know, you hit a wall and you're trying to do what you can. Where I'm at that stage at the moment.
Okay. What's your relationship with a man named?
I don't go out with anyone at the moment.
It's funny. You're funny. Let's see here. What is? Do you know a Quincy James?
Quincy James. Out of character. Do I know this person? Is that Q?
No, that's Q's boss, actually.
Oh, okay. No.
Right. Never heard of him?
Now that you mentioned it, no.
And who is the real John Rafat?
I don't know.
This is the real John Rafat.
Hmm.
Okay. So, take that. So, well, I guess that's all the those are all the questions that I have. If there's anything that we can do to assist you in your investigation, please don't hesitate to contact me. Like I said, I'm going to give you my business card here. It has my direct line.
Well, thank you.
Call me at any time. He said,
I look at the card, shake it a little bit to see the texture of the card. Thank you.
Okay. He's just like, oh, one other thing. What was the message again that your family sent you? Not to look for them?
He said that it was, don't bother looking for us, we're fine.
All right. Let's see here. Anything else?
Most likely they'll get in contact with me again when they need to.
Mm-hmm.
Since my family, my adopted family are entrepreneurs and they do business all over the world and they go wherever they go, or even when they fart, they decide to go to Japan or whatever the case may be, they just randomly go anywhere and disappear because they feel they have no real center or responsibility to anyone. They don't feel anyone is worth telling, even their own family members.
Okay. Well, that's a lot. Thank you very much for your time and for coming in. I'm sorry.
You need any additional assistance? I might be able to help you with anything, even closed cases if you'd like.
No, it's like you see all those guys, those men and women that are out there, busy working. That's kind of what they're here for. So we're all set. But if we do need any help, we'll be in touch. Another thing, one last thing. That murder in those murders in the Chipotle. Did you? So he gets a buzz on his phone and he looks at it. Nope, that's it. I have no other questions. Please, Agent Orion will see you out, but I need to have a word with him if you don't mind stepping outside.
Oh, I have a quick question before I call him.
Sure.
What would someone in my status require to possibly be a consultant, to be hired as a consultant by the police force?
So, well, because you are on a temporary visa, I don't think that's going to be feasible at this time.
Because with the temporary visa, if I find permanent work, I can become a full-fledged American. Go Yankees.
Well, if it was only that easy. But, I don't see why you couldn't. as far as what we do here, we tend to we're just setting up. We're getting our feet under us.
Okay.
You can imagine the agency itself and the entire meta community is currently.
Also, you're an extension of the police force or law enforcement. You're not the actual law enforcement.
We're an extension of the Federal Bureau of Investigations. So.
Oh, okay.
Just on a different tier, not necessarily higher or lower, just a different tier. But it's a precarious perch that we're on.
And he's looking at them wide-eyed, trying to memorize. Looking at him particularly.
All right, you're gonna have to say all of that again because you.
I'm looking at him wide-eyed and innocently as I look at everything else around plus him. And then I'm gonna say, excuse me, I will get Blue Orion. Excuse me, I will go get Orion for you.
No, Orion's sitting with you.
Oh, okay. No,
He's
I thought you
sitting-
said go.
No. He said if you can step out so he can have a chat with.
Oh, not a problem. I will. I don't know how to say it because you're not talking. So I'll see you later. All right, thanks.
So he stands and he extends his hand. It's a pleasure.
Shake his hand. Thank you so much.
You're lying.
And
No, you're
go
lying.
on.
Stupid limey bastard. No.
Don't curse my hand, Angel people. I only have an 18 strength. That's with skills.
Dude, that's feeble. That's yeah.
An 18 strength is not feeble.
I don't know what you
No,
talking.
I'm saying most of the people
Okay.
in our game.
You got to remember, it's feeble for him.
For me, I'm feeble.
He had a character with 100 strength.
Yeah, no,
Supernatural.
125.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No. Khan had a 129.
All right,
Then
I'm sorry.
And then I got punched into a hospital bed.
All right. So Agent Orion, as he leaves the room, he's like, "Okay, so do you believe any of that? Write it down."
I'll write about 88%.
It's like, what of all that tripe did you believe? Did you not believe?
Right down for starters, he's definitely not as innocent as he appears or is trying to project. And he knows more than he's saying. And he bears keeping an eye on.
So he's like, he points to what you're writing. He's like, duh, no duh, and yes. Keep an eye on him. It's like, okay, so
I already
here's...
have a little over 200 IQ. Oh.
Okay, well,
So,
I didn't
also,
know that as the GM. I was just assuming it was extraordinarily high because you're a natural genius. So he says,
there's something going on with his personal life because somebody signed out his friend Id, but it wasn't him, but it looks like him.
he's like, okay, so what exactly the fuck does this mean? He says, so it was him but not him. So you're saying that someone posed as him or someone was him? Like, does he have a twin or something? Because I don't see a twin on file.
All right, down. I suspect metahuman involvement, but he wasn't at the hospital when he supposedly signed his friend out.
Side note, Spank, you have siblings? You have your both parents, yes?
Yes.
And siblings. You have one brother.
I had, because I'm adopted, so I had like one brother and one sister.
Okay.
That's why I'm redheaded and nobody else in the family is.
Literally the redheaded stepchild?
Yeah. That's what I went with. I was like, yeah, this sticks.
Bloody gingers.
That damn ginger.
Gingers have souls. So he says, to
Keep
you,
them in the jar.
he's just like, okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Here's what I need for you to do. You need to keep an eye on this kid. This is because this story about his family, that's clearly a lie.
It's not,
He's
but
like-
yeah.
And he he reaches into his drawer and pulls out a secondary file and he puts it down. And he said, and in it, it's just surveillance photos. He's like, this is his brother. This is his mother. Well, adopted. He's like, and they're both in Los Angeles. He said, the reason why I know that is because this is the LAPD chief of police. And he is with both of he is with both of them entering a upscale part of Los Angeles that's owned by the Simmons family.
Oh,
And,
lordy.
you may not know this because you're whatever Smurf village you came from probably doesn't have
Cable. No.
current events, but the Simmons family are big players, old money, and they're black holes as far as our files are concerned. They're into all kinds of shit, and we know it. They know we know it, but they also know that we can't do anything about it without hard evidence. And I don't feel like being replaced or being dead. So you're going to need to keep an eye on this kid and report back to me on anything that strikes you as unusual, even for you. Are we clear?
I'll write down yes, and then also any information regarding the spooks I should know? Question mark.
It says he thinks they're NSA, but he's not 100% sure. They could either be NSA or CIA, Homeland. He doesn't have any files on this Sam King, but he's been officially attached to us. The order comes from the National Security Advisor, which means that I can't do anything about it. I don't like him. He's got that southern smugness that I can't fucking stand. By the way, Sam King has a southern accent. I'm not going to do the southern accent because as much as I want to, it's going to come out completely racist. So, we're going to have to deal with another set of eyes on us. And
You just did the fucking
Yes, I know.
Pakistani guy.
I know, but it's acceptable to make fun of them. No, it's not. I'm kidding.
Wow.
It's not acceptable to make fun of anybody, apparently. But anyway, in any event, he says, I do not like having this redneck riding shotgun on my department. So you mind your P's and Q's. You know the deal. You know what I expect, and I want you to make sure that if this kid is anything else than what he says he is, that you either bring him in or put him down. And that's coming from me.
I'll nod.
Dismissed.
I'll head out.
Okay. Oh, and before you go, I have another agent that's coming in from New York. I'm sure he's going to love you. His call sign is... Wait. He's looking at... He's looking... He has all these papers and folders and shit. He's just like, no, this can't be right. Goes by the name of Paco.
It's Gal Ford. I'm just fucking with you.
Okay, nigga. See, now you got me saying the N-word. Jesus, man. So he says he goes by the name of Gal Ford. I don't even know where that's from. What is that, English?
Sounds like a shitty video game.
It's like Scottish. Some Japanese 8-bit game. I don't know.
This is from Christopher Street.
No, you did not.
How could you ever? You've revealed my secret.
So
You know the big gay ice cream shop?
he says he should be coming. He's coming in. He's coming in tonight. I'm gonna send him your way. and I'll give him a briefing, and then just get to work. He'll be watching your 6.
But what about 7 and 8?
Yikes.
All right. Just, how do you spell that? Oh, dang it! Where's my? I thought I had a note document here.
You should.
I don't.
Okay. Dude, what is that picture? It's just the worst. All right, we'll get it. I'll put it in the chat.
It kicked me. You kicked me.
Still on the chat. You didn't get kicked.
Who keeps dropping? Damn it! Everybody's moving their pictures around.
It's Mike that keeps dropping.
Paco is now Al. Paco is now Morgan. Morgan is now Paco.
Well, yeah, I got kicked. This is the way.
All right. Anyway, so this is yeah.
Oh God.
So he'll be along shortly. I'll send him. I'll shoot him your way. Just keep your phone on.
You know the way.
All right. So Patch and Seraph. Seraph. When you get back to the university, you can. It doesn't look it doesn't look out of the ordinary, but infiltrating. I'm assuming you're going to infiltrate in your nanite form. Yes, in your cloud form.
Yes,
Okay.
nanite cloud. Yes, nanite swarm.
When you infiltrate the facility, which isn't militarized, so it's easy to get into, the substrate that you had incidentally created, is gone. It's not in their storage facility. The personnel is just they're currently the word I'm looking for is the word I'm thinking is rebuilding, but they're working on getting their system back online, clearing up the mess from the explosion, all the halon that came in, everything. They're re-sterilizing. That's the word I was looking for. Re-sterilizing the server room, the director of the program. He's not in the facility right now, but everyone else that was working, all the techs that were there, are still working on getting the systems back online.
Okay. I look at the cameras. Connect
Okay.
with the camera system.
Okay.
And try to see if I can view recent video.
You
Did
can.
any of those containers leave the location?
You find a feed for the dock security camera, and they are in fact in the back of a van.
Does the van have a license plate?
And
how long ago was it?
It's time-stamped about 20 minutes ago, and it does have a license plate, but it is it's a government license plate.
Okay. Which approximate direction was it heading in?
East.
East?
Is the east loading dock, yes.
Okay. So from there, I'm going to actually head east. I will reach out via comms to Patch and update him on my location and general heading.
Okay. Patch, are you all set to go with your mic? his mic crapped out and he's switching headsets.
And testing 1, 2, 3. Oh, yeah, exit free.
All right.
Never did I understand what that fucking meant.
That's because it's British.
Still don't understand
All
what
right, so
the
it's
fuck
Pat's
it
there.
means.
You're not supposed to because you don't speak proper English.
Because you're not British.
Ding, ding. Give that man a bichazo.
More than likely, it's not only British, it's probably Scottish because they got a lot of weird sayings.
Yes, the Scots do have a lot of weird sayings.
Well, it is Anglo-Saxon after all.
So,
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm heading due east.
Can you hear me?
Trying to.
Yeah, we hear you now.
There you are.
Hey, Steve is back alive.
I don't know. My headphone went crazy.
You sound so gorgeous. Mhm.
Whatever went wrong is Spanky's fault.
I believe
Probably
it.
is.
I believe it. I believe it. Go, go, go.
All right. Am I still connected to that car?
You are.
I am.
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna wait for the vehicle to get to a spot which is relatively secluded,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm going to lock all the doors. I'm gonna stop the car and redirect the fumes into the cabin to knock these guys out.
Okay. They get on the highway. They're heading in the direction of the Aegis. If memory serves, that's what they were heading. Now, once they get off the off ramp, the road that they're taking isn't necessarily busy, so they get to an intersection. You lock it down and you start flooding the compartment. Without any cameras, you can't really see whether or not it's actually working, but just assume that's the action that you're taking. Now, you get a message from Sarah finally, and he's letting you know that he's moving east to try to track down the van.
I send them the GPS coordinates for the vehicle is.
Okay.
Down.
And you receive it. You're muted, Mike.
I modify my heading and head in that direction.
Okay, great. You get to the location where the van is. You see it stopped at a four-way intersection. There was a car. There was two cars that are sitting behind it, and one of the drivers of the second car is approaching the driver's side of the van.
Okay, I enter through the front vents of the vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
Take form inside. And I'm gonna have to move the driver out of the driver's seat, obviously.
Right. The driver is he's slumped over, but he's not leaning on the horn, so it's not going off. And the other passenger, he's knocked out as well.
All right, so I move the driver out of the driver's seat.
Mm-hmm.
I take the driver's seat, connect to the vehicle via mechano link, and drive off.
All right. So just as you're doing that, and you can see someone knock on the door, and say, "Hey!" and you pull off. Damn robots! All right.
I while I'm still in there,
Mhm.
I find if there's any extra tracking devices or anything and start disabling them.
Okay. The one that you're currently the CPU that you're currently logged in that you currently hacked into does have a GPS tracker. That's easily disarmed or disabled. So it's just you and id. Excuse me. So everyone's freaking pictures are all around. So it's
Me
just
and
you
Seraph.
and Seraph are in control of the vehicle. Seraph is driving it. It is moving, by the way.
All right.
Paco, you got a tan.
See that? He's in the back of a cave.
Damn, Morgan got bald.
That's not a far fetched.
All right, what are you guys gonna do?
So, one of the locations that we scouted, for setting up new shop,
Mm-hmm.
I'll drive to one of those. Not the one that we were actually fighting for,
Mm-hmm.
but another one entirely.
Okay. You did scout
Stop.
several, so the nearest one is approximately 10 minutes away.
Okay, that's where I head to.
Okay. When you get there, so walk me through the next few steps of what you guys are doing.
So basically, when I get there,
Mhm.
gonna stop, check the container. How many containers are there?
There's
Actually,
two drums.
2 drums,
Mm-hmm.
weighing approximately how much?
At least 300 pounds each.
Okay, that's not terribly bad. I believe I should be able to handle that. Let me double check. Yeah. Okay. So I take both the drums and pick them up
Mhm.
and leave the vehicle with them. Exit the vehicle.
Okay.
Patch, I will require a location. I send him a message. I will require. No, actually, I don't send him a message at all. Not yet. I go airborne.
Okay.
Am I picking up any signals from the drums themselves?
You are.
All right. Going to land on the nearby roof
Mm-hmm.
and look to see if I see any kind of tracking beacons, transmitters, whatever.
You do find transmitters. They're paper thin. They were taped onto the bottom of the drums.
Okay. I take them off the drums
Mm-hmm.
and I look to see if there's anything else.
All right. Do me a
Any
favor.
residual?
Do me a favor and roll perception. And this is only because of your nature. And I'll explain it if you make it.
Okay, give me a second. Yep, there are no bonuses to that, so.
Run, you better run. And that's a 2. Okay. So I will forego it. You took off the trackers. They're no longer active.
Okay.
So now, number 1, how high are you? Number 2, where are you going to now communicate with Patch?
No, still no, because I took the stickers off, and so I'm on the roof of whatever building is nearest to where we were
Gotcha.
scouting.
Okay.
So
this is the outskirts of the actual city, the urban area. There's not going to be a lot of tall buildings, so you're the most you're going to be up is like the top of a 2-story building, and this is an industrial park, so it's not necessarily high buildings. They're just longer. You know what I mean? Like you've been to industrial parks.
Yeah. No, I know the area.
Okay.
I know that style. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so 2-story building. That's where I flew up there. Took the stickers off. And then I pick up the drums and take flight again.
Okay.
I am going to send a message to Patch that I have retrieved the drums themselves. They had tracking devices on them. I removed the tracking devices and left them behind.
Okay.
I think I will wait a few minutes before I send that message, though. Maybe about 15.
Okay. So Patch, in that
Huh?
time you lost communication with not necessarily lost communication with Seraph, but he's not communicated with you in about 10 minutes. The van is no longer mobile. You've disabled the tracker on that, and he hasn't communicated with you at all at this point. So you're basically blind.
All right. What I'm gonna try and do is, since I know the area he's in, I'm gonna see if there's any cameras and stuff in that area that I can connect to.
You can, but he is in none of the fields of view for those cameras.
All right. Do I see any of the vehicles from the convoy?
You only see the van for now.
I only see the van for now.
Well,
All right.
not for now, but you only see the van.
Okay. So then I'm just gonna keep an eye on the van then and wait for him to contact me.
Okay. Okay. So, Seraph, the 15 minutes proved to be fortuitous because you're starting to pick up signal, a communication signal. So it's a microwave signal, and as you're triangulating that signal, you immediately see a drone. It's about a mile. It's a extraordinarily advanced predator drone, and it's about a mile off. And you see it's coming in your direction, and it has optics that would be able to see your direction, to be able to see you.
Interesting.
The speed that it's moving in, it's not. It belies. It's not military. It's far more advanced than what the Army is currently utilizing.
Why not you gonna say that?
But it is a predator drone.
Yes.
And it's coming in using optics. Okay, let's see.
All right. So while he's thinking of that, and I'm going to end it on Paco. So what I would like for you guys to do is to tell me what you're going to do, so that when we go into the next game, you already know where you are, and we can just immediately hit the ground running, and hopefully we won't have any more of these glitches.
Okay, so my goal was to take aim at its propulsion,
Mm-hmm.
at the drone's propulsion,
Mm-hmm.
and use eye laser.
Okay. So we'll resolve that in the next game.
Okay.
All right. So Seraph is attacking the drone with eye lasers. I don't even know why I'm writing this down. I'm literally recording this. So I keep forgetting that part. I'm just so used to writing things down. All right. So with Patches, unfortunately, you're just gonna have to wait for the results of what Seraph is doing. Orion and Morgan.
Well, I was gonna get contact with Id.
Oh, let's
So that way
start
he
with
can introduce me to his
let's start
friends.
with Morgan. Go ahead. Say that again.
Oh no, I was saying I was gonna see about trying to contact Id
Mm-hmm.
to find out about meeting up with him and his other associates that he said he was gonna introduce me.
Okay, so you don't necessarily have to find out what. Just tell me your action.
I'm gonna call him to
You're
hook
gonna-
up with him.
Okay, so you can call him. All right. So that's what he's doing with Id. Orion.
My action would be to go out and tell Morgan that we need to start looking for Id because I'm meant to be keeping an eye on him, and that's a good excuse.
Okay. An
All right.
eye on Id, right? Is that what you're using?
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll resolve that. You guys can have that conversation moving forward. Id. Once you get back to your place, what are you doing?
I plan on calling up and talking to my partner, since she's probably the only person I can really trust, run all this by her.
Yeah, you've completely forgotten her, and she's not very happy. Never is, especially when it comes to your shenanigans. Okay. All right. So before I go to Paco, because we have six players, and everyone's doing their own thing, so that no one is left hanging. We're gonna be doing this in smaller clips in terms of, your time, so that everyone has an equal share of time as best as we can manage it. When you guys are starting to do these things, start thinking ahead to the actions that you're going to take, and if you need to adjust where we haven't gotten to that point yet, you can adjust. You're not. In other words, I'm driving to this area and then I'm going to do this. If circumstances changes when you get to that place, you're not locked into that future action. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
makes sense.
This way, it speeds it along. I have an idea of what you're planning to do. If there's something that the NPCs are doing or your enemies are doing, and it conflicts, then I'll say this is what's happening, and then you can adjust from that point forward. But it's so long as I have an idea and it doesn't really it moves the pace along. That's because I don't want to have you guys hanging. I know I had Paco hanging, but he's starting with the game. He's starting with this session right now. So unfortunately,
non-Paco.
right. Unfortunately, Paco, who isn't Mexican, I don't understand why he took that name. But anyway, no, his name is not Paco. His name is Galford. But I put Paco.
Our Paco ain't Mexican.
I put
Paco's
Paco.
Puerto Rican.
Yeah, that's
You see in the third dimension.
That's true. I forgot about that. But Galford is getting off the plane.
Okay, so hopefully you'll have a notes document for me next time, so I can put that down.
I'm gonna go back into Roll20, and if I see it that it's missing for anybody, I will add them in so you guys can you can put your own stuff in there, which is I'm extraordinarily grateful for you doing that because
I'm extraordinarily grateful for you doing.
I don't know whose mic is open, but anyway, okay. So with Galford, you get off the plane. You're met by an assistant to the director. She says her name is. I got a list of names here. She's like, "What is your? That's your call sign, right? Galford."
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, it's my real name, actually.
And your parents hated you. But like I was.
Nice. Very nice.
You guys don't recognize where that name is from? Seriously?
No, we know it. I'm just saying. I wanted to know if that was his call sign.
It's a running joke.
Yeah. With the way he's built his character, as soon as he gave it to me, I was just like, "You realize you just built Galford, right?"
That's what's a running joke.
Go 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 go! Go go go! Okay. You still have to collect. Your live cargo.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to take some time. But she walks up to you. She's like, "Agent Galford, my name is Agent Laura Rivers. I'm the assistant to the assistant. I'm the assistant to the assistant director, and I have a packet for you. You are to immediately be deployed. She gives you a phone, a secured phone. It's in the envelope. She said you'll have a phone, your ID, your credentials, and your license to carry." All your specific weaponry. He said the word to the wise, the AD is a stickler for the reputation of our fledgling department. And I don't need to tell you. He says I don't need to tell you your job, but if you don't want to end up on his shit list like one of our other agents, who he's merciless with, you're going to want to make sure that whatever you do is above board, and you document everything. He wants copious notes of everything. It's just the way he is, and there's no change in the man. So it's just you've been warned. Just just a friendly warning. Also, there were there's another agent that you're supposed to meet, and she said his call sign is Orion, and he's in there as well. He's a little odd. He's a telepath, sort of. He's mute, so you know how people, when they talk about like an injury, they just point to themselves. So she points to her throat. She's like, he's mute. I can't believe I just did that. And he speaks telepathically, but he doesn't receive telepathic signals. I don't understand how it works. He's kind of a strange one. And he's already out in the field. You're supposed to link up with him, and then continue on your assignment. Your dossier is there. Good luck. I will take your belongings, with the exception of your live cargo, to the lodgings that we've set up for you, and all that information is there as well. You have your card key. If there's anything else that I can do, my card is in there as well, and I'm available 24/7. Oh, and the assistant director expects you to report to him first thing tomorrow morning.
Okay. During all that time,
this is as you're talk. It's a talking walk.
No.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. During all that time, I'm just listening.
Yep.
I don't seem fidgety, but I'm not talkative at all.
Okay.
But it's not because I'm aloof or distant. It's just that she can tell that I'm a bit shy, and just not that open. I sent the picture through the chat in Zoom in order for you to take a look at how my character looks.
Okay.
The blades are a proximity of what my weapons are. They're actually half that size.
All right. Okay.
And they're basically the same shape and form of the Sage Blade. If you're familiar with Lucifer, what Mezzanine uses,
Mazikeen, and yes.
Yeah, those are the blades. That's what a Sage Blade is.
Okay, so they're just the curved moon-shaped blades.
Yeah.
Okay.
They come in different shapes and sizes, but they're particularly that kind of template, that mold.
Okay.
So that's the closest picture that I could get that would be similar to the way my character looks.
Do you
my
have
Do
you have pilot, automobile, motorcycle? What do you have?
Automobile is the one that's given. I would have taken motorcycle, but they gave automobile.
All right, so she says there, if you go to the parking garage, and she gives you the section and the number. She says there's a vehicle waiting for you. It's all in the envelope.
So open up the envelope. After I get my go through whatever it is that I need to go through in order to appropriate my dog, Wolf. And as soon as I get him, bring him in tow to the car.
Hilly. We're
All
gonna
right.
have some barbecue ribs tonight.
So I'm going to take everyone's pictures off because this is screwing it up, and we can just. This is crazy. I think Steve dropped. All right.
What are you doing?
Now because we're using Zoom. If one person drops,
everything is what
it's misaligned. That's why I'm trying to emphasize. If you don't have a solid connection, please let me know, because then it's going to be a shit show to realign this. Okay. You get all your stuff. You get your live cargo. A lot of people give you wide berths because this dog is enormous.
Mm-hmm.
So he has an actual wolf. You're gonna tell me that I don't allow certain things to happen. So maybe I'm getting sick. Maybe I have the Rona. I don't know. The
You're an ass.
the sedan is it's a 2-seater. Well, it's a 4-seater. So assuming you're gonna put them in the back or the front. What's the name of the animal?
Wolf.
You just,
I'll think of a name.
okay. And you set off. So what we're going to do is we're going to stop it here. Everyone knows where they are, where they were. If you do have any questions as to what happened, just refer back to the last few minutes of the video. And
There you go, Duffel. I put a dog up for you.
So I'm not even going to look. I'm not going to look. I'm not doing it.
It's an actual dog.
Yeah, I don't trust you. All right. Well, thank you very much, everybody. Technical glitches notwithstanding, we did pretty good for a little bit, but in any event, I am your friendly neighborhood GM, and for Galford, Patch, Seraph, Id, Morgan, and Orion, we bid you a fond adieu. Thank you very much.